Not every day, but well, not streaming every day. I've actually been playing it every day. But I started with the first initial like beta demo, where it's literally 2 maps and then the boss fight. I didn't get to the boss fight till the second day, and it was an actual demo. Like, Blue, I know you're constantly complaining about all these pre-release like alpha shit.
I love that he's just like, I knew Dead Cells before it was even a game, and it's like,
no, actually, I didn't. That's one thing. That's one thing I'm going to be comparing Dead Cells to Strafe, by the way. Blue, I know you constantly complain about how games always give you too much and how it's like always kills the mood of the game. Dead Cells was like an actual like old demo. Like I played it, beat the boss, like, all right, let's see what's next. And then they put this big old construction wall in the next map saying, sorry, this is just a demo. I was like, fuck.
Yeah.
I was so into it, dude.
Yeah,
I was so into it.
I love that.
And it was like, oh my God, I gotta play more. And I did another run. Like, I knew the game would end after I beat the boss, but I did another run because I wanted to. I needed it. And over the past 2 weeks, they've been putting out updates. Each update's changed a little bit here, changed a little bit there, and it's always felt really, really good. This last update put in so much new content. There's like 3 or 4 forks you could take per level in which you go running through. I've only made it 2 levels past the first boss. I don't know what's past the graveyard. But I've been so driven to play this game. It's really cool. For those who don't know what it is a Roguevania game, is what they're calling it. It's a combination of a roguelike and a Metroidvania game. So those old Castlevania and Metroid games has that like playstyle where you have the slight platforming, you know, side scroll. A lot of people have been comparing it to the old Prince of Persia game, actually. But has that feel with a roguelike. So when you die, it's permadeath. You drop what you've picked up, but you keep some permanent things. Like you unlock some runes to do certain abilities throughout the map, and then you get blueprints, which work as your items. So when you grab a blueprint and you make it to the alchemist, which is the dude you get the blueprint to, obviously, he holds onto the blueprint, and then you can use dead cells, which you get from killing enemies, to unlock the blueprint of whatever item or upgrade it is. And you will then start finding that item or upgrade randomly throughout your runs with random stats in random places. So, like, one of the first things you get is the broadsword off of a dude. And it's a pretty cool weapon. And then later on, you may find a broadsword that causes enemies to explode on death, or spawns little biters that go and eat people, or throw bombs, or shoot a little arrow upwards, forwards, or backwards, you know? And that affects every weapon and every ability, which includes things like bombs, throwables, deployable turrets, invisibility, stuff like that. And so that's something that I thought was really nice. I think the game's beautiful. The animation is so beautiful.
As far as pixel art goes, it's probably my favorite pixel art game that I've ever seen.
Oh, yeah.
In terms of
the colorscape. The colors are just fantastic.
Yeah, the colorscape. It also has almost a feel of it being 3D. If you look at the character model, he almost looks like he's 3D modeled on a 2D plane. They did really well at doing that.
It's I think what was the it's less offensive, and by that I don't mean like actually offensive, like offensive to your eyes than Hyperlight Drifter. Hyperlight Drifter had like a good look going for it, but this game is less like Hyperlight Drifter was just like, hey, we took all the colors of sherbet and just like threw it up into a game, like, and it was a little bit harsh.
Hold on, did you say sherbet?
Yeah, that was spelled. I'm just gonna put that out there.
We'll just keep going.
Yeah, you want to put an R on the end of it? That's cool.
Sherbet.
Sorbet.
But yeah, like, so it's really awesome looking. And one of the things that really catches me is the background art. The backgrounds, if you pay attention, look, are just gorgeous. There's a lot of detail, but yet, like, it's still a background. Like, it doesn't draw you away from the actual game. But it's almost like go to the ramparts where you're above the castle and you're standing up on the walls. You see in the background, the old crumbling ruins in the background. It almost like shows a story. And it's almost like staring down like Dark Souls. But of course, it's pixelated in 2D. But that's kind of the feeling. I was like, wow, that's breathtaking. And
it's neat. It's definitely cool. And I heard people
really
in your
awesome.
chat this morning asking you about Rain World and whatnot, and I thought that this actually did pixel art better than Rain World.
I agree. Actually, I agree with you on that one. Rain World was definitely more of a monochromatic kind of feel to it.
It wasn't bad. They did a lot of stuff with very little. So that was cool. But this game, I don't know. It's like so much. It's dynamic.
Games like this, I'm always curious about the soundtrack because I'm spoiled by. Okay, cool. Yeah, I got spoiled by Undertale.
Yeah.
The soundtrack to Dead Cells is so good. It really sets the mood. Like it's mood music. It's not generally like just run and gun music you usually find in a lot of roguelikes. It's very moody and it really fits the feel. And when I'm playing it, it's not like I forget that it's there, but it just blends into the gameplay so well. It's like this almost could just be part of the actions that I'm doing, basically. And each section has its own music, some of them more eerie than others. And I really like I'm a big stickler for music in indie games. Usually indie games don't have the highest detail or the highest amount of content.
Astroneer. Anyway,
but
what game? No, just kidding.
But a lot of indie games make up for that lack of, beauty and sound. It draws you into a world through music, which this game is really awesome at.
It's really strange how I expect it now from indie games, like to have that soundtrack. Where and that's why Astroneer sort of stood out like a sore thumb. It's just like in this giant landscape of cool indie games with beautiful soundtracks. It's just like what?
Nothing.
And not only that, but it's like, hey, you have a really cool game that's got a really cool art style that's really multiplayer. It's offering a lot of things that people wanted from other big releases, and your music is just like you like you went and picked up just a synthesizer for $30 somewhere and let your niece figure it out. Like you just it wasn't good at all.
One thing I do really point out is I knew nothing about Dead Cells until they sent me a copy.
Yeah, same.
I heard nothing about it. No one I've talked to knew about it beforehand. People were just like, "Yo, when's this coming out? When is this?" Like, I for a while I didn't know when the fuck it was coming out. I didn't know how much it was gonna be, and then they sent an email like, "Hey, this comes out May 10th. This was gonna be. I think it's $15 right now because it's slightly on sale. I think it's base 16." 100% picking up, by the way. 100% fucking worth $15.
This is a complete game, or are we still beta?
This feels like a complete game, but it's not. Right now, there's only 50% of the game in, and I haven't even reached the end of that 50%.
How many hours?
Every stream for the last 5 days.
Did you fall asleep for any of that?
Oh my god. I'm going to take this moment really quick to explain something, and this is probably not a bad thing, but in the trend of how awesome this intro was, I only started recording about 9 minutes ago because I apparently didn't hit the record button. So we picked up right at the beginning of the Dead Cells talk. You missed a whole bunch of garbage, but welcome to the podcast. We're going to keep going from here.
Nice.
Now, because it's permadeath, though, you have 30 hours. Okay. How long was your longest run? Or are you still on the same run?
Wait, are these like? You said you die, you can pick a. Okay, never mind.
Yeah, when you die, it's like Binding of Isaac. When you die, you restart, but you keep certain aspects of what you found. But yeah, so my longest run, I want to say, a few hours, because I was being a bit tedious, trying to get things here and there, and then I picked up a blueprint. And I was like, okay, I gotta fucking live, because you die with a blueprint, you lose it. You have to make it to the Alchemist to keep it. So I was like, all right, so I'm gonna fucking nitpick these motherfuckers to death because I need this new blueprint because it looks awesome. I don't remember what it was. So it wasn't the spear.
Skill-wise, 1 to 5, where are we sitting at? Easy mode Rams to hard mode Hoop.
Probably more towards the hard mode Hoop.
Easy mode Rams, hard mode Hoop, and story mode Blue.
It's definitely more towards a hardcore Hoop. feel of the battlefield there, mainly because death comes quickly. Go ahead.
Did you play Has Been Heroes?
No, I've looked at it. I've not played it.
Okay, I don't want to jump off track there, but it's just a lot of similarities are popping out besides the art, which I don't think art in Has Been is that great. But anyway, sorry. I derailed it.
I was talking about. We were talking about difficulty. Yeah. So death comes really quickly. There's been many times where I've been like at absolute full health. I have like 5 health upgrades, 300 health, and then it's just the worst situation of my life and dead. Literally in a span of a second. Like yesterday, this morning actually, I had a run where I was doing really well, beat the boss, made it to an area, and then there's these assholes who throw an axe that when they hit the wall, they sit there a little bit and spin. I had an enemy knock me into a corner, and then that axe just shredded me in an instant and killed me.
It reminds me of Binding of Isaac, though, where it's like, you're going to have a bad run. You're going to die.
Yeah, you're going to have bad runs.
You're going to die.
You're going to miss out on certain luck and stuff, but, you're going to have to live with it. And that's the thing about roguelikes is you're going to die. That's literally the base of the game is you need to die to get new things.
Right.
Like, I'd love to have you try it, Rams, but there's no easy mode.
I enjoy harder games. It's just if I have an option for especially a story intricate game, I'm gonna go easy so I can enjoy the story. I enjoyed the shit out of Binding of Isaac, and Has Been Heroes definitely piqued my interest, which is very similar.
Someday I'll play Binding of Isaac and I'll understand. I own it, just never played it.
You have a Switch.
I know. I'm not. Actually, I don't want to spend $40 on a game I already have.
Yeah, I've actually pushed myself away from Binding of Isaac. I love the game. I really want to get good at it, but I have so many other games that I really want to get into in terms of roguelikes. I don't want to waste my time with one that takes so long to get anywhere.
Sure.
Yeah. So my rating of Dead Cells is two thumbs up because it's amazing. I was playing, waiting for you to get here, Rams.
I was already online. I just didn't send me the call.
Oh, we just didn't see you. We didn't see you in Discord. Is really what it came down to. Usually, you're the one in Discord going, Blue, it's almost time."
Well, you weren't streaming. It was weird.
I know it was weird. We could talk about my gas though.
Yeah. We did talk about your gas.
One thing I really like about Dead Cells is the items do feel really nice. Like, they're definitely unique. Actually, during the run, I was waiting for Rams, and I had a sword that, when I'm below 50% health, it always crits. It always hits for critical damage. But I need to be dying.
Yeah, right?
And I was running around with that.
D&D.
Yep.
That happens.
It's cool, but you need to take a little bit of hits. And then you need to absolutely take no hits because then you're gonna die.
Yeah, that's rough.
But it shreds things. So
the one comment I wanted to make before we move on, because we were talking about soundtracks, and I just want to make one quick comment, is my new obsession, especially with having the Switch, is Mario Kart 8. There's really nothing to go into with it other than the fact that the game is super freaking fun, but the soundtrack in it is so good. I was surprised because one of the things that I've always seen with streamers.
Is like Katamari good or like where are we sitting at?
Calamari? It depends. There's a lot of different places that sell calamari.
Katamari. My God.
I don't even know what the Katamari soundtrack is, but it's really good. I know that there's a lot of people who complain with like Mario Maker and stuff that you can't turn the music off for streaming and everything. So when I went to go stream it the first time, I thought to myself, all right, I'll turn off the music. We'll just listen to Nintendo music. My viewers are gonna hate this because it's just gonna be like wow, like, and ended up being like really entertaining soundtrack for this Mario Kart game, and people were commenting on how good it was in the chat. I'm like, I agree. Nice. So as far as yeah, I mean, as far as soundtracks go, I have to bring up Mario Kart 8, and I know I'm supposed to be in love with Zelda, but the other games on my Switch are killing it for me. So
I was actually looking up a bunch of Switch stuff today, just like, I don't have one. I could get one. I don't know, like, is it worth it? And mostly it's like I don't care about the games that are out right now, so I'm looking forward to what is coming out. And it seems like EA is gonna start pushing some stuff, which is very exciting.
I'm gonna be honest. I have 3 or 4 games on here that I love. Snake Pass is super fun, and it's relaxing and stressful at the same time. I know it's really well because it's so like upbeat and music is so nice and the snake is always smiling, but it's extremely difficult at the same time to get. You can go through it easy mode and just pick up the bare minimum and move on, or you can go for 100% completion, which is what I'm doing. And there's stuff where you look at it and go, how the hell do you get there? But then what else? Snipper Clips, played that one night with a buddy on stream. It was a blast.
Is that an app?
Snipper Clips? No, it's a game for maybe it's an app, but it's a ton of fun on the Switch. And it's only like $20. It wasn't crazy expensive. But the one that's got me hooked other than Mario Kart is Mr. Shifty. Mr. Shifty is so good. And you can get it on Steam.
Why don't I know this?
It is so good. It is. Is
that like Liz? Is that Liz's boyfriend?
No. What? I'm sorry. I don't stalk.
She's making a stupid like.
Oh.
55. Get it?
Yeah.
Oh my god! Come on, that was fun.
Well, I do wanna cut in before we get too far away from.
Yeah, I didn't mean to go this far into Switch,
but I do want to bring up Strafe, which, unlike Dead Cells, I've heard of Strafe before release. Strafe was actually announced in, I think, 2015. And it's made by Devolver, which usually put out really good games. And Strafe is supposed to be a roguelike Doom. Very fast-paced, very in-your-face, shooting people in their face. It's advertised as like a 90s realistic combat simulation, face-melting, shoot 'em up. And I get totally praised with the whole 90s super hardcore violence. I should say hardcore as well. And I was actually really excited to play it because I've been looking for. I've been really wanting to play Doom, but I've been wanting to play, a little more than just Doom. And so I was like, yeah, fucking Strafe looks awesome, and I picked it up. I pre-ordered it the other day, which actually that's one thing I do is pre-order. I want to talk about too. But I was really excited, jumped into it, and honestly, it's an incomplete game. As much as I want to love it, as much as I want to really appreciate what it is, and I enjoy the feel of the game, it is not a complete game. It was definitely released before all of it was there. There's a lot of bugs in terms of enemies literally despawning, rooms not loading. Let's see. In the endless mode, about 5 rooms in, you'll start just every time you kill an enemy, you literally start killing your frames.
Okay, so I'm looking at the pictures like I do, and I get the whole like the 90s thing, right? But to me, this style of game is like the awkward teenage phase of games, where like we had our 80s games, and then now we have what we have now, and this is the awkward teenage phase. Who wants to revisit this? Oh my god, it's kind of terrible.
I mean, I play Doom. Now I play Brutal Doom, which is an upgraded version of Doom.
I played all Dooms. I grew up watching my dad play Doom, like every single night, constantly. Hard mode, no saves, like kind of hardcore. But okay, I'm gonna link this. Let's see.
Yeah.
So how do I do this?
One thing I do wanna.
This is terrible.
One thing about Doom. One thing about Doom. One thing about Strafe is the entire time I was playing it, I was literally thinking I could just hop into Doom. The entire time I was playing it, I was like, I go play Doom and have more fun and better experience because
that's nostalgic, like that.
Well, it's not even that. It's the fact that because Strafe plays on the fact that it wants to be a Doom or a Quake 1 feel, it does have that feel, but also wants to be a roguelike, but does neither of those well. It's very floaty in gameplay. The weapons have no real recoil. Like they don't. When the shotgun it sounds like you're shooting a fucking pea shooter. Basically, it has no kick. It doesn't. It has no oomph to it. Like you go to Doom, you shoot the super shotty, and you know it's a shotgun. You know you're playing Doom. And all the guns and strafe have no feel to them.
I mean, I'm just going to interject one thing. If you like gun feel, you're going to love Destiny 2. I'm being honest. If there's one thing that I could say Destiny has, I think, absolutely captured is the gun feel. There's guns where people are like, that's my favorite gun in the game. And I go, I can't touch that thing because it doesn't feel right. And when I say that in like a Call of Duty, people are like, feel right? It's an SMG, whatever. But it's like, no, like, these things kick in a certain way, in a certain direction with the right sound. It's like you're using your gun. It's really weird.
I was just going through all my ARs, and like there's only so many ARs. High fire, low fire. Like, there's only so many archetypes, right? And I was just going through playing with them while I was playing Iron Banner, and I was just like, I have 15. I love ARs, and I was just like, every single one of these has a different feel. Like, yeah. Absolutely different feel, and it's the same freaking archetype for most of them.
If you like that kind of stuff,
yeah.
There's shotguns that just like kick like a mule, and there's shotguns that just shoot really fast and stuff.
I played the first year of Destiny.
I think you played the first month or two of Destiny.
It's the first iteration, I guess.
Yeah.
And yeah, I played that, and yeah, I totally understand the kind of feel. And I did jump in when hand cannons became pretty broken for a bit, just because I wanted to see how fucking stupid they were.
They were pretty stupid for a while.
So, hand cannons. I got a lingering song the other day, and that gun feels so different than any other gun.
Because it shoots, like, the audio for it is almost backwards, like it almost, like, it just, like, it shoots really weird.
So, I know we kind of skipped over it, but I'm looking at Mr. Shifty right now. This looks really cool.
Yeah, Mr. Shifty is not quite Hotline Miami, but it has the kind of the view and kind of the play style a little bit of you burst into a room, kill everyone as fast as you can without.
And you're a one-hit kill, so if they shoot you, you're dead. And the puzzles get really interesting, and
it's kind of like stick death.
Yeah, a little bit, but it's really interesting. There's a lot of different ways. Like, there's different weapons that you pick them up, you hit them. They have very short durability, but then there's other ones that never lose durability, but they get thrown, and it's interesting. There's so many different enemies. They come at you in so many different ways, and then there's this bullet time mode. If you have the bar filled up and they shoot close enough to you without hitting you, you go into bullet time, and all of a sudden you're just zipping around, just knocking everybody out before it comes back to real time. It's a really fun game. And someone brought up, like, well, you can get that on Steam too. There's just some games that work better on handheld, and I think that's a game that's going to excel at handheld. I don't even think it's a game you would be able to really enjoy with mouse and keyboard. I think you'd need a controller.
But y'all guys agree that, okay, this is totally, everyone disagrees with me, but Mario Party, I enjoy so much better on my 3DS.
I haven't played it on handheld.
I
literally have only
GameCube existed.
I've literally only ever played it with girls that I was trying to date.
How well did that work out for you, Blue?
I mean,
he played it with girls he was trying to date. So got him somewhere.
But just like the little, you have the little spinner, I feel like the actions, it really just it was one of the first games I got, not that spinner.
Oh.
One of the first games I got on my 3DS. I was just like, this encapsulates everything a 3DS can do.
I believe it. I believe it, because I mean, it's I don't have that experience, but I can understand it. Like, they literally made the PSP Windwalker or Wind Walker. What was it for?
Windwalker.
Wind Wake. What was the Metal Gear Solid game that they made a PSP for?
I don't know.
There was a Metal Gear Solid game that they literally made for PSP. I bought the edition of the PSP with the game. Peace Walker. Yeah, that's how popular it was. That game was so shitty on handheld. It was horrible. And so, I mean, some games just work in handheld and some don't. And, Zelda you can take with you on your Switch, but if you plug it in, put it on your TV, I think it works better. That's just my opinion, but I love Snake Pass in both variations, but Mr. Shifty, and I also have what the hell is it called? I haven't actually gotten into it. Wonder Boy? Is that what it's called? I picked it up because it looked really good. Wonder Boy, The Dragon's Trap. Apparently it's a remake of an 89 game, and you can switch back and forth between original graphics and the new HD graphics, and it looks like it's going to be an awesome handheld game. So I got some travel coming up in the next couple months, and I'm really excited to I'm having that moment where I'm going to be able to play Switch on an airplane. I feel like that's the pinnacle. I don't know why, so I'm looking forward to it.
Awesome. Well, yeah. So I do want to say back to Strafe.
I was going to say, we'll get back into the Switch in another 10 minutes when we want to cut Hoop off again.
Right.
We freeform. We freeform.
Yeah. So Strafe definitely needs some love. It has the basis of a good game. I've seen so many bugs from other streams. I've experienced a lot of bugs. So I would definitely say wait for, at minimum, a sale. If anything, wait for it to be updated. Wait for new content to come. Wait for them to fix it. Which is really uncommon for me to say about a Devolver game, because usually the content they put out is solid.
What else have they made?
Let's see. Oh god, I wish I had an ability on my Steam to just fucking list only Devolver games. They may honestly, it's a lot of roguelike.
You mean Deformers?
What?
Do you say Deformers?
Devolver. It's like Revolver with a D, Rams.
Actually, I've been playing Deformers, so
I don't know what Deformer is.
You gotta watch. Donkey does a little bit of a video on it.
Well, Deformers is actually really fun. It's just a Smash Bros. Kind of type of game. Smash Bros. Mixed with a little bit of fucking Battle Cars. What is it called now? What is Battle Cars called nowadays? Rocket League.
There you go.
Battle Cars.
That's what it used to be called. Yeah, it's cute, cartoony, kind of, I don't know. It's fun.
Well, they made Bro Force.
Yeah, Bro Force, things like Fistful Gun,
Principle.
Dropsy, Not a Hero. I think they made Nuclear Throne. God, there's so many games.
Genital
I honestly
Jousting.
can't remember. Yeah, Genital Jousting.
Which is one of the only... they did... I didn't know they did Stories Untold. All right.
Yeah, Stories Untold.
Cool.
But they have a huge record of actually really, really good games. And it's really surprising to see when they put out that it's honestly bad and incomplete.
Oh, and Enter the Gungeon. All right.
Enter the Gungeon, which is also a really good one. But
Shadow Warrior? This game, they made everything.
yeah. They made Shadow Warrior. I don't know how I forgot Shadow Warrior. Yeah, they made Shadow Warrior.
Did they make Shadow Warrior 2?
Yeah.
It's a joke. God damn it, guys.
But yeah, it definitely needs some love, unfortunately. The soundtrack, that's one of the other things. Soundtrack's amazing in it. I love the soundtrack, but sadly the soundtrack is not good enough to carry that game through every fucking bug that it has. Every bomb that it has. Because one thing that's a big problem with it is it wants to be that Doom run and gun. And you guys play Doom where you burst into a room and you just fucking blasting people in half, not giving a fuck. Problem with this is when you do that, it then goes back to that roguelike thing where you have like, it takes the rogue a little too far to the point where you can't get health back, basically. Your ability to get health is almost none. And so you're forced to, instead of go run and gun into a room, hide around a corner and wait for the enemies to come to you. That's another thing, is the enemies have no kind of intelligence. They run straight at you in a straight line, and they sense you from anywhere in the map. Like, you don't have to be in a room, the door can be completely closed, and you'll see them pressed against the door, just running at them. And you can shoot them through the door, by the way, because they can also shoot you through doors, which is a bug.
It does sort of seem like an incomplete game.
Yeah. Well, a little bit. And, like, the other thing is, a lot of roguelikes have permanent upgrades. Like when you grab something, you then have that for your next run after you die. Strafe has guns you can pick up off the ground, and it's really cool. Like, they're pretty awesome guns. The problem is they all only come with one magazine, and you can't get ammo for them in any way, shape, and form. A lot of them, like shotgun stuff, they have like 8 rounds. As soon as you're done with it, you smash it over someone's head and it's broken and gone. And it's not like they're common. And I feel like one thing that would really help is putting in ammo. Give me my Doom feel. Let me have different guns to fucking shoot. Because you're forced to use your base gun the entire time, which is not something you do in a roguelike or Doom. In Doom, you have so many cool and different guns to switch to. You never run out of fun ways to just murder somebody. And in roguelikes, you find new things and you're able to start with new stuff. And you're always on that search for a new upgrade, new weapon, new change to abilities. That's like, this is awesome. I can't wait to get this in my next run and use it to do the whole run. But this, it's, a gun on the ground. Well, I mean, I'll use it to kill 5 enemies. And, like, the barrels, another thing that really emphasizes throwing barrels at people, because barrels are great to kill people with. But the hitbox on either the enemies or explosive barrels is absolutely ridiculous. Like, there's been many times, like when I was shooting yesterday, I went to not only barrels, but to shoot grenades over people, and the shot was like a foot over their head, and it still blew up on them, usually damaging me. And there's a lot of things that need to change. But again, it's that the core is there. They just need to polish out. It's a diamond in the rough. Let's be honest. It's what it is. It's a diamond in the rough.
So, do they have a potential to actually do that? Are they continuing to work on this, or what?
From what I understood, there was going to be a patch sometime today or tomorrow. From what I understand, I don't know what it's going to be for, but someone came in chat and be like, "Yeah, they're apparently putting out a patch today or tomorrow to hopefully fix some of the bugs." Which that's cool. They fix the bugs. The problem is that doesn't fix the gameplay. I think the most fun I had was in the endless wave mode, where you go about what's called the blood bank, which you go about just killing waves of enemies. The problem with that is if you live too long, you start killing your frames with every enemy you kill.
So if they fix the bugs, how would this game compare if you weren't expecting it to be like Doom?
Okay, so if I was just playing this game,
Doom's pinnacle, you know?
So if I was just playing this game, being like, I don't know what this is supposed to be, I'm just playing a game, I would not play it. I would wait until they put out new content. Like literally, I played 3 hours of yesterday and was like, I'm gonna play Dead Cells. Dead Cells isn't even complete, and it feels more complete than Strafe. Like Dead Cells literally isn't even a finished game.
I mean, but that's the nature of gaming. Not everything's a win or a hit, you know? Some games just come up short, you know? So it's unfortunate because I watched Man vs. Game play it for about 12 seconds yesterday or this morning or something, and he looked like he was having fun, so I was like, oh, maybe this will be cool. And then I saw that when I whispered you this morning just saying, hey, it says you're in Strafe, I was like, maybe he's switching to Strafe, I'll watch more of it. No more Dead Cells, but no, I was hoping it would I was hoping that it would be a more enjoyable game, because I don't know, it looks interesting to me. Like, I guess
okay. It is okay. If you want to pick it up and play it, you're gonna put it down. I know you, Blue. You're gonna put it down.
Oh, absolutely.
Unfortunately, because there's not any meat to the bones. It is just bones.
That's fair.
And hopefully they do some kind of genetic engineering and put meat on them bones.
Well, is it early access or full release?
It's full release.
Gross.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't like early access games, but if it's that incomplete and it's full release, that's a bummer. So
that's what I'm saying. Like, the difference is
not every release is the winner.
Is a full released, extremely hyped game, and it's bad. Dead Cells is a not known, not complete game, and it's amazing.
Yeah. Well, some games just do that. Some games just sneak up on you like that. So
and it's the other thing is one's a big developer, one's a developer I've literally never heard of.
So,
since we mentioned it, I do want to talk about Deformers just a second.
Go for it.
It's actually extremely fun. It's all the sort of what's the other battle one that Ben was playing for a while? Brawlhalla. It's Smash Bros. It's with a mix of, again, Rocket League. The only thing I want to say that's like a critical for this game is why isn't it out on the Switch? This is a perfect game for a Switch. Perfect game. Multiplayer, fucking fight it out with your friends. Cute game. And it's not out on the Switch. And that... Sorry, we're full circle back to the Switch talk again. But it kind of pisses me off that like something so perfectly built for this platform isn't on there. And
maybe because they don't want to deal with Nintendo's shit.
Well, that's the thing. Is like I'm curious why. Like, and I actually Googled earlier, like, how hard is it for Nintendo to put out a game on Switch? Not in so many words, but I was trying to find out why there's so much struggle putting things out on the Switch. Like, you know, we have Skyrim coming in the fall. That's confirmed. Great. We have an EA racing game coming.
They're getting a game that's going to be 8 years old in the fall.
Right. Like,
great.
So why is it so hard for games to come out on this platform? Is Nintendo cock-blocking them? Like, what is it? I can't find an answer to it. Like I can only assume that it's Nintendo just like,
it's
no,
most
our
likely
games,
Nintendo
our
being
games.
fucking, yeah. It's most likely Nintendo being a piece of shit.
It pisses me off because this game it's cute. It's a family game, but it's also really, really not. Like I was mentioning, there's little X's for buttholes.
You keep describing it as cute, and every time you do, I want to play it less.
I say cute, but like you can play as a giant hamburger. I don't know, like a fat pug. It's kind of weirdly. It's weird. It's weird. It's definitely weird.
It's a very strange game. It doesn't make it bad. It's just not for everyone.
Not for everyone, for sure. But if you know, in the age of the Switch, which is supposed to be this play with your friends, play anywhere, this is the perfect game for it, and it's not out on it. Makes me really bad.
Well, I mean, it's definitely an interesting game, and the more I'm all about whatever they can bring to the Switch. So if they brought it, I'd try to get my hands on it. That's one of the things that I've been trying to do, is trying to get my hands on some early release Switch games. They're very difficult to get your hands on, believe it or not.
Nintendo wants you to play
Nintendo not giving things out willy-nilly.
Yeah, well, it's not even that. It's the third parties. Like, there's been a few games where I've tried to get in with, and they're just like, well, it's not even that. What I'm saying is there's only like 12 games out worth playing right now, and so the indie developers are like, we're getting inundated by everyone who has a Switch, and it's they sold like 2.6 million units or something the first month or something. So you have all these content creators with Switches like, okay, we want games, let's contact the devs. And so that there's 100,000 of those are content creators that want Switch titles, and there's only 2 games coming out this week. They're all getting 100,000 emails. So it's just
nice.
Very hard to get your hands on games. Which I don't mind paying for them at all, by any means. I've ran into a couple of people recently who are like, well, if I can't get my hands on a copy, then I'll play something else. And I kind of look at them and go, wow, I hate you. If I can, I will. Like Dead Cells, I didn't even ask for it. Just ended up in my mailbox one day. I was like, okay, so I'll play that. But there's a few games. What's The Surge? The Surge looks interesting. It's basically going to be a sci-fi Souls game.
Dark Souls.
It's going to be like a sci-fi Souls game.
Ooh,
yeah,
I like the way this looks.
It's kind of interesting, and I've tried a couple different routes to get my hands on a key.
Spooky.
Yeah. And it's not happening, and I'm just like, well, I guess I'm just going to have to pick up The Surge then, because it looks interesting, maybe not right at release, because me and Souls games, man, we get along great, just like jelly and cream cheese. Sorry, that's a thing with me and Hug, and he's not here, so I don't know why I made that joke, but he likes bagels with jelly and cream cheese, and I think that sounds disgusting. So yeah,
I mean, it's not uncommon, but yeah,
I think it sounds disgusting. So I give him crap about it, but maybe he's streaming and listening to the podcast again, just yelling at his screen. But no, I mean, there's a lot of games out there that I would love to get my hands on, and the more that come to the Switch, the better. And I got a big old 200 gigabyte micro SD card, which made me go, wow, I love 2017. That much memory and something that big is great. But now I've just got all this. What is it? I got all this space to put games on, and I just want to get into it. I want to fill this thing up with games because I love the Switch. So fun.
Yeah. The Surge is definitely on my list. We'll see how it is. I've put in the key and actually sent an email directly to the distributors for it, and they responded to me, so I'm pretty sure I'll be getting a key for it.
For which game?
Pretty happy about that. Surge.
If you get an extra one, let me know.
I mean, fuck you.
Fine. Next time I get a Conan key early.
Are you still playing that?
I haven't in a while, but I'd like to. I turned off my server because me and Storms were the only ones using it, and we both stopped playing in it. But I really enjoyed it. I thought the thing is, I would have loved to get into it with somebody who knew the game well, which I didn't, because when I watch Conan gameplay, I'm like, these people like know what to do, and they get to they know how to like cast these spells that turn them into these monsters. Like Conan actually fixed all the problems that Rust still has. Rust is this whole spawn and learn how to build a base as fast as you can that's probably part trap base so that you don't get killed immediately in a raid and all this stuff. And Conan, if you're a solo player and you know how to play the game, you don't need to be in a clan at all. You can just turn in, if somebody raids you and kills you, you can just summon this giant creature and just kill everybody. Like, there's ways to play this game in this like super awesome fashion, and me and Storms just built giant houses.
That's what I didn't like about Conan though, because what I like about Ark is just like build something, and that's what the game is kind of for. I didn't
for.
like.
I mean, Ark isn't just for building. Ark is very.
I know.
Honestly, a lot of Ark became that weird deathmatch mode. Let's be honest here. They had tournaments for it, which is fucking weird.
I get, and then they have King of the Kill, or not King of the Kill. What the fuck? Survival of the Fittest, which is
every game of that type just becomes a deathmatch. Unfortunately,
I get that, but the thing that I enjoyed about it was the building, not necessarily the resource gathering. But here's an open building world. I want Minecraft IRL, and I think a lot of gamers want that. And
I'm telling you, Conan did it the best. I'm being serious. As far as building goes.
I get it. I saw Vin play a lot of hours of Conan. I feel like they did learn like how to make things snap a little bit better and different size things and different options. I felt like, Conan had that there, but why? Like, I say why in the fact that like we have Ark, we have Conan. I feel like there's something over here. I can't see. We have Ark, we have Conan. I feel like there's something over here that should have been made instead of this in between Conan. It's not quite different enough.
I think that it made the building 100 times better. I'm being serious. I loved playing, I played Ark for a while with you, and then I played Ark for a little while after that with a couple friends from home that got into it, because I was like, I'm playing Ark.
No one watched those YouTube videos.
Nobody watched those. Don't watch those YouTube videos. They're bad. I just poop on everything. And
you poop constantly.
Oh, constantly. And but when Conan came out and I got the codes for it, I was like, let me get into this, and I started, and you can just build the coolest shit. And I built, like, the house that I built twice because we got locked out of it the first time in a different server, had this giant basement area that I filled with bonfires, and when you actually light them up at night, it literally would light like the entire area up. I thought it was like so fucking cool, and I was like, haha, Storms. It goes, what? I go, you gotta come over here. He runs over, he goes like, what the fuck is that? I go, I made heated floors. And he was like, I fucking hate you so much. But I mean, it was like so cool. He built this giant tree house and stuff. It was the crafting in it was so cool. And then we went on to do, like, one day he just messages me, he goes, hey, when you get on the server, you gotta go check out my new thing. And I loaded in a seat immediately. He built this staircase up this giant peak. And at the top there was a sign like "Hi Blue." It was like, it was like, seriously, it was like
so stupid.
I know, but it was like 1,500 feet in the air. Like it was at like these giant towering statues that you're always looking up at, going, "Wow, these are huge." You're looking down at it. I'm like, Storms, you son of a bitch! Like this is so high up. What were you thinking?
Nice.
I just feel like there's got to be a next level of a building type game. Like I hate Minecraft. I don't enjoy it. It's too.
It's the next thing we're streaming for the next 6 months. Look at I'm kidding. She look at her face. Bye, Blue.
Like I enjoy that side of those types of games. I know it's not everyone's bag, but I know for a fact there's people in chat right now that it is their bag. And I say bag because I'm from the 60s, apparently.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean? Like that's a thing that people really do enjoy, and that's the appeal of Minecraft and why it's such a huge game. And I feel like there is a next step in that type of game that can fulfill that greater need, I think, for that gaming side of me. And Conan didn't do it. Ark doesn't do it. There's got to be something one more step forward.
I wouldn't be opposed to that. I think that would be fun. But in the meantime, I'm enjoying.
Honestly, Stardew does it better for me than Conan does.
That's just you comparing apples and oranges. That doesn't make any sense.
No,
completely. Like that statement doesn't even. You can compare like hardcore anal sex to car mufflers. You can compare anything, but I just don't see the comparison between Stardew Valley and Conan.
It's the building. So it's totally different building style. So what I want is the Conan style, brick by brick. Here you're building something, right? And what Stardew offers is here's your building, plop it on a plot of land, right? But I feel like the customization and the attachment to your character and there's story and there's environment to interact with without having to deal with too much like I have to go fight or I'm gonna die if I go into the specific area. Specific, not Pacific.
She wants easy mode.
Oh my god.
Here's a top-down game that builds the buildings for you, and there isn't wild tigers that want to, and alligators. Oh, the gators in Conan are so cool. But no, I don't know. I really liked Conan. I thought Conan was a really fun game, and I put 50 hours into that game in a very short period of time. Just building. Like, I still don't. When people were like, yeah, hail Yogg. I'm like, what the hell's a Yogg? And they're like, it's one of the gods that oversees the blood. I'm like, whoa. They're like, have you not read all the lore? And I was like, no. So, like, maybe if they wanted the game to be more fleshed out in that way, they could have done a better job of it, because I didn't even know what to do. I just, like, loaded in and started building shit. But as far as being a building simulator, like an ancient, whatever the hell kind of time frame you would consider it, building simulator, I thought it was great. I loved it. I just and Ark wasn't bad, but
what if they mix like what if SimCity came back with something like a builder?
I don't want that. No, I want a first person game. What? No.
So first person SimCity builder.
You'd get lost instantly.
It'd be cool though.
Maybe
you'd be unable to respond to any of the fires and shit that would happen around your city.
But see, take out the fires then.
Well, you take out SimCity.
SimCity's all about the fires. And if you turn on the monsters,
about tornadoes.
Yeah, and the earthquakes and the monsters, you got to turn on the monsters. Those are the best.
So I'm a different gamer than you guys. I enjoy Roller Coaster Tycoon.
I love Roller Coaster Tycoon. I actually own it.
So I'm saying, like, there's a zen to those types of games.
Oh, absolutely.
And I feel like Conan
that's where I'm confused.
Wasn't different enough. It wasn't different enough. If I'm gonna get it, so my thing was,
but here's the thing:
why buy Conan when I have
because
Ark?
It's an improvement on Ark. It was an improvement on Ark.
Shit.
It wasn't.
Conan was great.
Different enough. It wasn't different enough.
I will be honest. The things that me and Storms built in Conan made the stuff that I saw you guys build in Ark look hysterically bad. Like, and I'm not knocking it. I don't know how to do shit in Ark. So, like, your civilization was neat. Except your ceilings were too fucking
all over it.
I know, because your ceilings were too low. I couldn't stand up straight, so I was constantly squatting. For the record, my character was very tall, and apparently they're all just like a civilization of dwarves, and so my head was through the roof and just clipping through everything the whole time.
I don't think any of it's changed actual height size, but yeah, those rooms are really short, and just make it two ceilings tall, and then just too fucking tall.
See, I would have gone for the tall all day long. I like those tall ceilings. My apartment has 12-foot ceilings.
It's a waste of resources, honestly.
But
how did we get off on this?
I don't know, but I like
Conan.
Stupid
Stuff.
No, I don't dislike
it. It was your Ark server.
I feel like if people did
actually it wasn't
never
mine. It was my viewers.
If people never played Ark, I feel like Conan's amazing and great and such a great experience and fantastic and wonderful building and all this sort of stuff. But my thing was, why, when I have Ark? I don't think it was gonna. It wasn't worth it for me.
I mean, you could make that same argument for so many games, though. Like, so why would I play Battlefield when I like Call of Duty? Why would I play like? There's so many things like that in gaming.
Invest so much into it. Like, I invest so much stuff in, and I built all this crap or whatever, right? Why would I give that up to do something very similar in a different game?
Because I don't know, Hoop, you play all sorts of games that are just like the last game you played. Why do you switch why do you switch to the new game?
Depends what genre we're talking about. If we're talking about those kind of games.
He was just making fun
I was forced to. I was forced to play him to begin with.
Does Conan Exiles have magic? I really couldn't answer that question fairly. I believe so.
With the god summons,
I think it's not like Skyrim magic. It's not.
Yeah,
no,
it's not like
magic.
Missile.
Is that your Skyrim now? What were you playing? Skyrim Magic Missile.
That's my generic wizard.
Oh my god. But yeah, there's a lot of red names in chat.
That's really weird.
Yeah, it's freaking me out a little bit. But that being said, no, let's spend a second though, since we actually wanted to talk about it clearly on the Switch stuff. Because it seems like when we bring up the Switch, people have questions or comments or whatnot regarding the games that it offers and whether or not it's worth it or whatnot. And I guess all I really want to say on the Switch is it's one of the most interesting and enjoyable gaming experiences I've ever had because it's full games. It's not games that don't feel finished like on the PSP. They would try to do the full release games, and it just didn't feel right. What's that face for?
No, so Monster Hunters on 3DS. I mean, that's the first thing I thought of when I thought full game, fucking fantastic. Monster Hunters, and all of them. And then like, oh my god, I'm blanking totally. JRPG on 3DS. Someone help me out here. Fuck.
But that doesn't. So wait, your point doesn't take away from mine, though. Your point doesn't take away from mine. Which it sounds like you're trying to make a debate against what I'm saying, but your point doesn't do that.
I must have missed your point then. Fire Emblems. There we go. Anyway, continue. I feel like these games are fully fleshed out. They transfer from screen to handheld with extreme ease, and there's something about the way you play this thing that feels better. The way that it's spread out and stuff. I really enjoy the game. I mean, shit, I'm at work on work internet, which is sometimes doesn't even pick up streams well. And on my lunch, I'm playing Mario Kart online with people from Japan. Like, the network runs really well. The games look really good. I haven't been dropped out of games or anything that are multiplayer when it comes to things like Zelda. Just having this full open world at my disposal on this handheld is just mind-numbingly cool. So, yes, there's other games like Monster Hunter and Fire Emblem and stuff that have been on handheld before that look great, and that's cool. I'm not saying that they're bad or that this is better, but I'm really enjoying this experience. And when I hear the comments about the lack of games or whatever, I mean, in the next month or so, they're going to add a whole bunch of stuff that I think is really cool. So, I mean, we got ARMS coming out, which looks really interesting. I hope that's as cool as they say it is. I know that there's a Street Fighter coming out, and I don't think I've ever played a handheld Street Fighter, so I'm really looking forward to that as well. There's a lot of things about this system that I really, really enjoy. That's the thing. It's all I'm looking forward to, and it's like, when? Like, why weren't these things?
But I'm already enjoying it, though. I already enjoy the system, and it sounds like you don't want me to. It sounds like you really wish I didn't like my system, or like I'm faking it. I'm being honest.
Enjoy it.
You don't.
So I'm on the verge of like, should I buy this? That's where I'm sitting at. I maybe other people are as well, where it's like, do I want to buy this? And so I'm having to weigh like, what's in it for me? What's the value in it for me? When will I use this? What will I use it for? That's the microphone, sweetie.
That's a black man.
What is that?
It's a microphone. Yeah, microphone. So I'm trying to weigh like, is there something that I can get out of the Switch that I can't currently get out of anything that I own right now? And mobility. I have my 3DS, and a lot of these IPs, I have them on other consoles. And so all these games that are going to come out that are fixing to do this, and in the future, Q4, it's just like, I don't.
The games that I was listing were in the next month. So,
but even those games are going to come out on other consoles.
It's saying hi.
You did say hi. Sorry, Daddy's having a cigarette because she's not going to.
Is that Daddy? That's Daddy, isn't it?
That's not Daddy. Blue is not her daddy.
Nope.
She's got red hair. She's not. Yeah.
I dye mine. But no, I there's what I was saying before though is there's something about handheld. Like Mr. Shifty is so good on handheld.
Sure.
So
I get that.
She gets it too. She's so excited. She loves it.
I get that. Like I adore my 3DS. Right.
So does she.
I don't know what her thing is right now.
She's in Childland, where they ride pretty ponies and unicorns.
What's your thing? What's your deal?
And sacrifice the young.
That's who. I adore my 3DS. I've taken it. It's been to the Philippines. It's been to Costa Rica. It's been to Florida. It's been to lots of places. I adore my 3DS, and I understand the need for a handheld. If I didn't have a 3DS, I would absolutely have a Switch right now.
Yeah, 3DS was always too overpriced for me. I'm stoked for the 2DS. Holy crap! I'm buying a 2DS at launch. I'm so excited for that thing because I've never. No, not the 2DS XL.
Oh, okay.
I am buying the crap out of that thing at launch because I don't care at all about 3D. I've never cared about anything.
Right.
I don't even like 3D.
Off. It hurts my eyes.
I don't even like 3D movies. Like I hate that IMAX only shows 3D movies now. I'm like, no, I just want to go see a movie in IMAX. Like, God, don't give me these dumbass glasses. Just let me watch a movie. So the fact that they're going to be like, here's a 2DS XL with no 3D functionality, which nobody wanted in the first place, and it's only $150 brand new, and they're making it super rugged for children. That's awesome. Like, I'm stoked for that. They're making this thing robust so that kids don't break it. It's like a lot of people bought 3DSs to play their games hardcore, but the 2DS is now an option for children because they can't use the 3D functionality with children anyway because it's bad for their eyes. And now it's like, oh, I don't want you to take my Fire Emblem and throw it into the toilet. No, we're going to take this one and make it so if you run outside and decide to throw it at the, the basketball hoop, maybe it'll survive. And I love that because sometimes I get mad at my games. No, I'm just kidding. But I don't leave the house.
Sometimes you just want to see if you make it.
Yeah, I just want to see what happens.
You really just need to dunk the boss, right?
Exactly. You got to dunk the boss. But whoa, dropping frames. What's happening? Okay, we're good. That was weird. But no, we're doing it again. Why? Why?
Stop down to that porn, Blue.
Oh crap! Hang on. I think the other computer is actually updating Steam.
I say, is your phone updating something? Yeah.
Hang on. You're in charge.
Oh shit!
Wait, he said you. Who's you? I'm assuming it's me.
It's her. It's Spawn.
It's definitely me. So
you haven't said much on the Switch though, so I'm kind of curious.
That's because I don't give a shit about the Switch.
Well, okay, so what about handhelds in general?
I have a Game Boy Pocket.
Do you ever leave your house?
Yeah. If I need to play a game, I do it at home, or I do it on my Game Boy Pocket.
Oh my god, you're such a fucking hipster hoop.
No, I just don't need to buy things I don't need.
So I do travel
right now.
I do travel on occasion, and I totally understand the benefit. Like I said, if I didn't have a 3DS, I would have a Switch right now. But the IPs that the Switch is offering, I'm not a Nintendo fan. I don't like Nintendo IPs. I don't care that there's a new Mario. I don't care that there's a new Zelda. Great, you love Zelda. I love you for that. But I don't love Zelda. So give me something that I do want to play. Give me something that's unique and different and new. And until then, it's not going to do it for me.
ARMS. I'm stoked for
Arms
ARMS.
is coming out on other things.
I'm stoked for ARMS. I don't know. That's one of those things that I'm just really excited about.
I have ARMS.
Is this what we're doing now?
I don't know. We were excited for ARMS. I did ARM things. Are we not doing ARMS?
I don't think we're doing ARMS. But I don't know. What else is ARMS releasing on?
What is ARMS?
I don't think it. I thought it was an. I thought it was
It's an acronym. A.R.M.S. Right?
What is it?
It's an acronym.
It's a fighting game.
Thank you, Blue.
Yeah, it's just coming out on the Switch. It's not an acronym.
What's she doing?
It's just called ARMS.
Oh, this isn't the game I thought it was.
No, it's like one of the platform sellers for the Switch. It's cool. I'm excited about it.
Go see Dada. I love you.
And it's selling. They're selling yellow Joy-Cons, like neon yellow Joy-Cons to go with it. And I think they look so good. What did you do?
I gave her a kiss with lipstick.
Oh, okay. I couldn't tell. It kind of looked like you smacked her. But
that's how I kiss.
I knew the yellow one was coming out, but honestly, when they announced the yellow controller, I thought a new Pokemon game was coming out. But then I realized it was like highlighter yellow. So
I'm pretty excited about those yellow Joy-Cons. I'm probably not gonna get them, but I think they look so cool. I'm weird about that stuff though.
What am I thinking of? That's an acronym. I thought
Arma?
Is that it?
Like the Arma games?
Arma's not an acronym, though.
I have no idea.
No, that's not it. That's not it.
I don't
I'm
know.
dreaming of games now.
You should probably start writing these down in a dream game journal. Last night I had a dream.
I got to level 10. So
you played a game on hardcore.
They finally released Left 4 Dead 3, and you played as characters from Forrest Gump. I'm calling Valve in the morning. But anyway, no, so this like Switch might not be for everyone, but there's like the second I bought mine, I was like, buyer's remorse. I've never really liked Zelda. I hope this isn't a total disaster. And I've got 30 or 40 hours into Zelda, but I don't know what to do. Like, this is really weird. I'm looking at the quests that I'm supposed to do. I have no idea how to do them because the waypoints when you select them are the people that gave you the quest. So I have no idea where to go. Like, I have no idea what to do. So I'm just running around doing whatever I find. And surprise cat. I don't know if you realize the cat's next to
I was like, what's your mean surprise cat? Then he touched me. Fucking hell, Cricket. This is Cricket.
God. That was so I even told her she was.
I was like, why did you just say surprise cat? What the fuck does that mean? Jesus Christ.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh my god.
Get good.
But I've really enjoyed the Switch and the Switch experience. I don't leave home without it. It doesn't matter where I'm going. I throw it in this case. I throw it in my car, and I go. Like, it's every now and then too. I just like end up like, where are you? Oh, I'm running behind. Well, it's all right. You know, I just want them to. I want them to really get me on nostalgia. And I know that a lot of people complain about this, but I want a Donkey Kong Country game. I want these games I grew up with.
So that's actually really interesting because Nintendo, their whole like rewards program and their store and stuff that was so intricate to the 3DS, where you could get all those retro games like for a couple bucks, or just for points for the rewards program. All that got scratched pretty much last in the summer, I think. I assume now in preparation for the Switch. So I'm really curious on what they're going to come out with for, are they going to have a rewards program where you can register your shit and get points? Are you going to be able to download these awesome retro games? Like, I downloaded Super Mario World 3. Like, amazing. And it all cost us points. And like, I totally agree. If that were to come on the Switch, that would actually sell it for me. Because that kind of stuff I do want.
And in a lot of cases, I don't care about nostalgia stuff. Most games that they make remasters of, I'm just like, all right, fair enough. Like, this is just me to spend more money on whatever. But like these games that haven't been released like updated and re-released in years. If they were to remake a Donkey Kong Country, and even if they like gave it like an HD skin and let you switch back and forth between the old and the new and stuff, like that stuff would be so cool, and it's not hard to do. So
it wouldn't be hard at all. They already have the game. Just fucking port it.
Just skin it over or something.
Right.
But I like the Switch. I'm happy with the Switch. And I know it's not for everybody, but I'm really glad I got one. After the buyer's remorse like faded, I was like, nope, this was the right call. And I won't be able to get it over here. I won't. All right, don't vomit, anybody. You guys won't be able to see. You'll see it on my screen. I'm moving my webcam. I bought this thing. There was all those complaints. This is my lotion because my hands are falling apart. Porn. No. There was all those complaints about the screen getting scratched, and I found on Amazon they do like Etsy style stuff now, where you can sell artisan stuff, and they made this really nice thing that you put on your Switch dock with microfiber on the inside to keep it from scratching, and it looks really nice, and it's really soft, and I think it does the job really well. So there's solutions to these problems, and people are finding ways to make some money off of it. I think that's kind of neat. I think it's neat. It's just a little thing, but it was like $15, and now my screen is free from future scratching issues. Probably won't help it from the problem where they were bending from being set in the dock too long, which was kind of a bizarre thing, but I don't know if you heard about all that. Yeah, if you just put it in the dock and just never moved it, it gets so hot that some of them were warping. Yeah. And it's got like an intense cooling system in it too for a handheld, probably like the biggest in a handheld ever. So it's kind of surprising, but
does Brown Recluse mean like VR?
Does the Switch have a virtual console? No, the Switch actually sits in a dock that a virtual console usually means can you
like a VPN thing?
Okay. The way you like the Xbox app can play off your Xbox on the same network.
No, it just plugs into a TV.
It has a dock that has a HDMI out on it.
Yeah.
But no, I'm enjoying it, and you know, and final thought, I'm really enjoying the console, and I'm glad I got one. So
I'm still reconsidering. I'm waiting for that game. You know, that game
I'll tell
that
you.
makes me want to get it.
I'll tell you, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is great.
I still have the GameCube. What do I need that for?
Zelda, there's some. This is the first one I've ever owned. There you go. Come on. You'll get it. I believe in you. There you go. This is the first Mario Kart I've ever owned, but it's also one of the first ones I've played in many generations. But it feels really good. It's just really fun to play. It was what I was playing earlier when I was trying to decide if I was going to stream or not tonight. And I was like, what if I just played Mario Kart and laid low? And I'm like, no, I just don't want to be on camera when I don't feel good. But that was my relaxed game. That's what I defaulted to, was Mario Kart. I don't know. I'm liking it. So, not for everyone. Definitely for me. Same topic, different game. Last week we finished What Remains of Edith Finch. Kind of a pseudo walking simulator. It definitely has gameplay, but it's a little different. If you played The Vanishing of Ethan Carter, I don't know if you can immediately draw parallels between their names, the What Remains of Edith Finch and The Vanishing of Ethan Carter. There's definitely some parallels that can be drawn just from the titles, but they're very similar games where the story unfolds as you discover things. And we went through the entire game. I would say you can play through the whole thing in just a couple hours, 2-3 hours tops. And it's dark. It's kind like not like evil, but there's like dark emotionally. But it was a very interesting game, and the way they told it and all the mini games and all the mini stories within it were really good. And there was one in there where they were talking about somebody who was dealing with it was a drug addiction. I'm not going to spoil anything, but the way they had you play that game was like, as someone who suffers from really severe ADHD, it was like, as I was playing it, I was just telling my chat, I was like, this is how I feel every day. Like, I've never been able to explain this to anybody before. Like, it connected that intensely with me. I was like, I want to show this to my parents. Like, I want my parents to sit down and try to do this, and just that's how my brain feels when I'm at work. Like, it's
particular. I would say almost like a mini game in a way. That particular part of the story really captured that game for me, as far as not just a story game, not just a point and click. Like this is a game, and I think that's kind of where we're going next to this conversation, is entertainment in these types of games. I think that's where that they do still have that this is a game feel, where it's not just click to open your story type of thing. I used to have a Power Rangers game, funnily enough, on my computer that was literally just like you open up these clips and it's clips of the show. And that's it. You just like point and click and you watch a show. And I feel like that's sort of the mentality of games like this, and like the one that we're fixing to talk about, is it's not a game, it's a show. But that in particular, and as well as several other things that you went through in that whole game, really highlighted that there is skill involved in thinking and puzzles, and as well as a kick-ass story that I couldn't watch part of it for reasons.
Well, it's literally the base, and this isn't spoilers. This is like this is the basis of that game. Edith Finch is a 17-year-old girl who is 5 months pregnant, and she goes to the house that she grew up in after the last remaining family member of hers dies. Her entire family is dead, and basically what they did in this house is every time somebody died, they shut the door and locked it forever. They never went back in, and they were just preserved like the day that person died. And so when new family members would show up, they would continue building on the house. It feels like The Vanishing of Ethan Carter meets Coraline, because the way the Coraline story was told is you kept learning more and more about this magical house. Now, this house isn't magical, but it's full of different passageways and stuff. It's very interesting. And basically, you go through story after story learning about how they died. Literally, there's one that doesn't end in death, and it's because the person just was never heard from again, so nobody knows what happened. So it's very dark in that way. It is not a horror game at all. It is a very strongly based, like narrative-based story game. In fact, I don't really think there's anything horror about it. Vanishing of Ethan Carter had a little bit had a little bit of a horror element to it. That actually, it had like that Alien Isolation kind of mechanic in it for a bit, but this game does not have any horror in it. It's just by dark. What I mean is like the way the show Shameless is dark, where it's like everyone's like addicted to drugs and dying and stuff like that, but at the same time it can be kind of funny and cute. This had that kind of feeling to it, but the story's very well told. I don't know. I sometimes just run into these things on Twitter, and when I saw that one pop up and I watched the trailer, I was like, "Yep, this looks like my kind of game," and I was totally right. I just wish because they're so short, they would release one of those once a month, you know. But I'd love it if I was like, "All right, guys, it's the 12th. It's time to play that narrative game." Like, I'd love it. But it was very good, and what Rams kind of was alluding to us talking about a little bit is. Games that are more so just about visual entertainment and less about what Hoop likes, which is the hardcore gameplay. And the game that most, I think right now, illustrates this the best is Late Shift, which we've played a lot of on this channel, even though it's essentially a movie.
It's a movie.
It's
in my eyes, it's shot like a movie, but they shot a whole bunch of different possibilities. So they shot like 7 movies, and then you get to choose which path of this movie you get to go down, based on whatever you feel like is the correct response for the moment, or to not respond, or whatever. It is real people, real actors. It's not animation in any form.
Yeah, no, it's shot live action with good actors too. Because when I think back to because it's very reminiscent of the CD-ROM games back in the 90s. It was like, someone would bust into the door and be like, "Stop or I'll shoot," and then it would freeze and it would say, "Shoot, don't shoot," and you'd click shoot, and it would cut do one of those weird star wipes to the shoot video, and you'd be like, "Bang, bang," It was really cheesy. But this, it runs like a Telltale game. So they give you that time bar that moves in, and they give you it's usually just 2 choices. They give you your choices, you make your choice, and it almost seamlessly connects to the next scene. Now, every now and then, when you pick a really jarring option that wasn't clearly the original story, because you can tell they filmed an original story and then deviations off of it. So when you watch the perfect story, which we got on the first playthrough, so my first playthrough, I was like, this game is incredible! But we got the perfect playthrough the first try, and in chat, there was someone there who was like, I've been watching this guy play this for 3 days, and he cannot get that ending. I'm like, damn, I'm good at this. But it's, when you get to ones where it deviates harsh, there is a little bit of a hard cut, but it's not like a star wipe transition. It's just all of a sudden maybe people who are standing in one position are a slightly different position or something. It flows great, and it's one of those games that as a viewer on Twitch, you just roll up with a bucket of popcorn and sink your teeth into this thing. And even as the gamer, I was playing it for a couple of weeks in a row, and it was really nice to just sort of be able to relax. And one time we actually let the game play itself. We put the controller down just to see what happened. And it looked like it was
lazy.
A little bit. It was the last playthrough of the night. We've been at it for like 3 hours, and there's only one story really. So, but I wanted to know, sometimes games do that though. Like, I'm gonna spoil a game real quick that came out like 4 years ago, so I'm sorry in advance. But Far Cry 4, if you, right in the beginning, if you just sit there, they walk you in and they say, sit right here, we'll be right back. If you actually sit there, the game just ends and they tell you exactly everything that you need to hit. Like, if you, instead of being that asshole gamer that we all are, which is like, well, I'm not going to sit here, let's see what I can loot and then get the fuck out. If you actually sit at that table for 15 minutes, they come back into the room, tell you the entire plot line, and the game ends. And so I wanted to see if maybe one of the secret endings to this game, because there's 7 endings, was just set the controller down and watch it happen. Not the case. Not the case. But, and yes, I loved The Last of Us, and I'm going to play the shit out of The Last of Us 2. It's probably going to be a massive letdown, but I don't care. I don't care.
Say that.
I'm going to avoid it like the plague.
So I've heard a couple of sneak things, just like here and there, bits of whatever's about a couple of games coming out this year, Last of Us 2 and Red Dead 2, and it gets me more excited. Like,
that's cool.
I don't know if we'll actually be let down. Like I'm pessimistic as well, where I've been let down before. You know, I've been down this road.
I'm gonna.
What hype game has come out that hasn't been a letdown recently?
I'm trying to think. Well, Zelda, Breath of the Wild was not a letdown. If you like Zelda.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't let down, but I also hear it wasn't like god tier amazing either. So.
What is that? Breath of the Wild? I've heard. Yeah. No, I've heard it's like one of the best games that's ever come out. From everyone that I've heard that enjoys those games, like
I hear both. I mean, I do hear both.
And I'm not. This is just an example that people can relate to. King Gathalion says it's the best gaming experience of his life, and that's coming from a guy who I've spoken with him. He's very knowledgeable. He doesn't just throw things around like that. And that's just one example that I'm using because people can relate to it. But I've heard from other people as well that they're just like, I can't stop playing this game. It's incredible. So I personally think I preferred Horizon, but that's because I liked the gameplay in Horizon so much. The story was but the gameplay was so good. But no, I mean, games that have come out recently, I don't know. I'd have to like go through and like look at all the games that I've picked up recently to see.
But nothing's been a stellar. Well, Persona 5, I think people had a lot of good things to say about that.
I've heard Hollow Knight went over really, really well. Which I heard a lot about Hollow Knight before it came out. I don't know about you guys. So that one, I'll give them that. I'm literally just looking at Steam really quick.
I don't think. Well, Hollow Knight wasn't really hyped. I know a lot of people who talked about it before.
Yeah, I don't think it's hype, but it was played option because they gave a lot of codes out, which created its own hype. Yeah. Of course, Nier was my game of the year, but we'll not talk about that again.
I'm still excited to play
Nier.
that.
I think Nier was hype beforehand because it's
it's an
hardcore followers of the first game. Yeah.
But I was not let down by it in any form.
But yeah, I mean. Yeah, I don't know. I forgot where we were.
Just recently, like, think about it. There's been a lot of hype games that have been really shit. lately. So
I mean, I there's been a lot of really good games that have come out, and there's been a lot of disappointing games. I mean, I guess they fixed it. It's come around and everything's been a lot better. But Andromeda was probably the king of that this year. I guess they fixed a lot of it though, and people who play it say that the story is really, really good. So,
I know they went through and fixed a bunch of stuff.
But it does.
I know people who are literally never going to pick it up again.
They made a huge mistake with that game by not. I think they just pushed it out too quick or something. I'm not sure.
I actually have a theory about this because it's 2 and 3 years ago. So games that were releasing 3 years ago, games that were releasing 2 years ago. There was a shit ton of games. I'm thinking like Inquisition age. Is that 3 years? Yeah, about 3 years. A lot of games at that time got pushed back and pushed back and pushback. And there was so much they got a lot of shit for that. Like, all right, we get it, you want to make a good game, but like stop giving release dates if you're gonna fucking not stick to them. It seemed like every game was just like, oh, we pushed it back again, oh, we pushed it back again. And so I feel like there's been a whole slew of games, and maybe that 90s game you were just talking about that I totally blanked on, Shaft what
what are we talking about?
Interesting.
Donkey Kong?
No, the 90s game you were just talking about is Doom-like. Oh my god.
Quake?
No, Hoop, the game you were just talking about today. You had 2 games you want to bring up.
Strafe.
Strafe.
You said 90s game. I was like 90s game.
Maybe that we're seeing these buggy, kind of crappy quality, incomplete games because they don't want to stick to that. Oh shit, we missed our release date, let's just put it out. Like, like maybe this is my theory. It could be completely wrong, but that's my theory, is that they got a lot of shit for all these games that got pushed back, and so now they're doing it too quickly. They're doing it too quickly.
Strafe has an update.
Ah!
I clicked back into Steam, looked over, and it says update pause. Like, oh, Strafe has an update.
Well, there you go. You'll have to let me know if it fixes it.
Yeah.
But I think that there's something to be said about these games that are just an entertainment value. I really enjoy them because they're relaxing. Not every gaming experience needs to be hardcore. I was just listening. I'm a big fan of Crucible Radio, which is a Destiny podcast, and they actually bring in a sports psychologist to talk about your physical and mental reactions to playing games competitively. And they're talking about heart rate and what your heart rate actually does to affect your gameplay and things like that. And I sit there and just go, my God, like professional gamers can peak between 160 and 180 beats per minute heart rate while sitting there in seated position playing. And it's like, holy crap, and they get so used to it that they're able to play without losing their fine motor skills and stuff. But at 120 is when most people start losing their fine motor skills, and people who play competitively often peak between 130 and 140 without trying too hard. And so I'm sitting there listening to this whole thing going, this is all very interesting, and I really enjoy my Telltale games. Like, I really enjoy these games that let me kind of enjoy myself and just be a part of. I'm not good with movies because I can't sit still that long. Have you guys watched me? I talk with my hands because I can't sit still. And so I like playing the movie I'm watching. I don't know how else to put that.
So I looked up games that are like Late Shift, right? And the only one on here that I've seen is Candle, which I watched you play, Blue, which you hated.
What?
There's a game called like The Bunker or something like that as well.
The Bunker, but that's a horror. Like, that's horror, so I've avoided it.
I'd say it's more of a thriller than a horror. It's not much spoopy about it.
There are a couple games that I would like to see you play. Only If looks good, but
you're thinking of Wick.
Oh, that's a different game then.
Yeah, and that was not.
I was like, that's not at all like what I was thinking. So,
no.
But it doesn't seem like there are a lot of these types of games. The reason why this topic really interests me is because I'm re-listening. I do audiobooks because I have a long commute. I'm re-listening to Ready Player One. And in Ready Player One, which, by the way, if you haven't read or listened to Ready Player One, it's one of the best out there. It's amazing and beautiful if you're a 90s kid. And also the audiobook's read by Will Wheaton. Anyway, so basically there's a VR world created where you can have like tactile VR, and the start of it is games that were transitioned more into movies, so you can experience a movie. That's sort of the base of how they moved into this type of technology. And I can feel that when we watch a game that does have that mix of entertainment movie with here's a task for you to do. I feel like Telltale, sort of drops the ball on that. I don't want to just point and click and choose options. I do need a task to do. I need some sort of puzzle to figure out. I need a goal, not just a goal of endings. I need an actual short-term and long-term goal for my games. And both Late Shift and whatever Diary of Wonder Faces, both did it for me. Where it was like, I'm so good at names.
Christ.
Both did it for me as far as having a good mix of skill and entertainment. And I hate to say entertainment because I don't have it because games are entertaining themselves. I mean, I love shooting the mans. That's entertaining, but just pure. Non-interactive entertainment mixed with that do something. I want to be able to do something, which is why VR is so appealing to me, because you have to do things through it. But I do feel like the next step in this sort of genre, not technology, but this genre would be interactive VR movies, pure movies that you are a part of. And I don't feel like we're that far off, especially with watching Late Shift. We're not that far off. How hard would it be to put that in first person and in VR?
I want so many more games like Late Shift. I know I hear what you're saying, and I appreciate it, but to jump back to Late Shift, that I just talked about what it was briefly. It's so good. Like the first night we played, the second night was a little quieter because we've now watched this movie 4 times. Like going into it, I think we have 5 of the 7 endings, and we've seen all the scenes now. But the first night we played it, we finished it 3 times, and every single ending, like especially the last one. I remember the last one, we were all like, what just happened? Like, it was, every single ending was so different from the next. And it was just like, whoa!
Because that's where it's more than a game. That's where the entertainment side, the non-interactive, it's a good movie.
Yeah.
It's just a good movie.
And on top of that, I think our shortest playthrough was like 1 hour and 10 minutes, and the longest one was pushing 2 hours. So like you can really change this game. It's not like Telltale, where I'm gonna break Telltale's fourth wall real quick here and point this out. There's only like 2 endings to Telltale games. Those decisions you make, they're for you. Like, you get to make that choice. There are very few, like the first season of The Walking Dead, you had the potential of walking away with like 12 different options, like groups of people, but every other one, you have like 1 of 3 endings to pick from. And none of the decisions until like the last hour matter at all. So it's like, you know, I hate to be that guy, but it's the truth. And I don't know, this game, just there's so many paths to go down and so many things that change so radically. It's really cool, and it's so well acted too. There's not like a single character in the movie or game that you're like, I don't know, but there's not a single actor where you're like, because every now and then in a movie you'll get like I love From Dusk Till Dawn, and the son in that movie he literally has never been in anything else. He's terrible. It still gets the job done, but he is I don't know how he got that gig. He is the worst actor ever. And
hard to do stuff like
right. And he was like he was like a weird like side story that they just sort of clipped into the movie. But anyway, all these actors do the job great, and they encompass so many different personality types. And it's not, also the other thing that's cool is it's not just a bunch of college kids. They have younger people. They like one of the main people in the movie is an older man, like a much older man, 70s. So I mean, like there's a huge age range. They've got like this, just people from all over the world, different languages and stuff. It's really dynamic. And so as far as the story goes, it's really interesting. But if you're a streamer and you try to stream it, expect this the first time you stream it. Are you showing a movie on Twitch? Because everyone's going to want to yell at you really quick. Because, you know, people like to...
Yeah.
Everyone likes a gotcha moment. And so people are going to try to get you for the first hour of the stream until they realize that there's like 12 people streaming it and it's actually a game. So I hope they make 100 more of these. I want a Western. I want them to make a Westworld version of this, like where I get to be in Westworld. Like I want them to, like, everything. Oh my god, I want Bungie to call, or 343 to call them up and do a Halo story, like Forward Unto Dawn kind of thing. Like I want to see them jump into all sorts of stuff with this because I'd love it. I think it would be such a good addition to any game's resume. Like, that's where I'm at on it. I'm just a little fanboying over this game.
It would be kind of cool if they had a whole of, especially animated games, where they did it IRL. You know, IRL movies of your animated games, but it's playable movies. Oh my god, holy shit! I love that. Oh, it'd be great.
It'd be great. I mean, if Telltale would just be like, "Hey, we're done doing these animated things now. We're gonna start filming movies." Oh god, all day. I could play those forever.
But I'm kind of curious now, like, how much did that actually cost?
I don't know, because and not only that, but the entire beginning of the movie is about basically the basis is you're a college student and you're work the night shift at a high-end car garage. Like, we're talking Bugattis, and the one that they keep showing is a BMW i8. Like, there's, you know, I think there was like a Ferrari rolls up right at the beginning, like. They got the money to lease out all these cars, like.
Yeah.
So
I don't know how they pulled it all together. I don't even know who made it really, but
especially since it's not a big title, it's not a AAA, it's not going to make that money back. How much did that actually cost them?
I don't know.
I'm really curious because that's really what it depends on if we're going to get more like this or not. Is how much does it cost and how much money are they going to make?
Have I mentioned that I played it on PS4? You can also get it on Steam and Xbox One, but you can also download it for iPhone and iPad. It's a mobile game as well. Like that's
Hold on, is it
cool.
Android?
I don't know. I didn't see anything about Droid. I see iPhone and iPad. So like. This is something you can take with you everywhere you go. And so I'm just like, that's so freaking cool. Like, give me more of this stuff. Let me get sweaty in my games, you know, sometimes, but then other times, let me just enjoy a good story. I don't know. I love it. I think it's great.
This is good. Yeah, the cars very much could have been cash producer vehicles. Not really done at all.
So Droid has an app called Control Movie. It's a bunch of movies that you control, but it's not games. You know, it's not marketed as games. It's marketed as theatrical experiences.
But they could be cast producers' vehicles. You're totally right. But they had a lot of supercars. Like, it would be surprising to me if these people who I've never heard of all just drove supercars.
They weren't stars.
This is not a bunch of. It's a British film / game as well, so it's not like a bunch of British actors and actresses that you've heard of before. I didn't recognize a single face, so no, that's just that. But I think there's something to be said about these kinds of games. I think there's a big place for them. I think the response was huge too. The people who came into the stream stuck around for a long time. They enjoyed it. So, I think that it's... Go ahead.
So outside of, like, creating games from scratch like this, I do wonder, like, what's... Sorry, I'm having a hard time putting... So the reason I love Nier so much, and I talk about it every single time, every Wednesday, is because it's unique. And that's kind of the main thing that I look forward to, and what makes me love a game is how unique is it? Is there something else that I can play that's similar? Are they ripping something off? Are they doing something totally different? Is it totally out there where I can't even relate to it at all? Right? Like that's something that I really look for when I say to myself, do I like this game? Is it unique? And I feel like there is opportunity in this type of genre of movie games that you can do so much more. you know, besides the obvious, like remake books or make an IP that's, you know, take a normal game IP and make a movie out of it that you can play through. I feel like there is going to be more like Late Shift or like Diary of What's Her Face. What's the fucking game called? I've already forgotten it already.
Life is Strange? What? Oh, What Remains of Edith Finch?
That's the one. Edith Finch. I'm bad with names.
Diary of What's Her Fuck. Do you have a notepad? Can you just write down every game we talk about just so you have a list of?
After this, I'll show you my sticky note. I have sticky notes, and there's 1,000 of them, and it's terrible. God. So that game in particular, where they were able to blend again skill and this entertainment value, like that's unique. So what else can I do with this almost new genre? And it's not new. There's been things like it before. Honestly, this is a choose your own adventure. This is our old school text based, but now it's in IRL movie form, right? Right. But you know, this is new, but they're doing it in a unique way that does offer a unique experience. And that's what I'm after as a gamer, is a unique experience. And so that's what it really excites me about this genre.
Yeah. It's the production values as well. I mean, it's just so well done.
How much more can you do with a first-person shooter? How much more unique content can you do with a first-person shooter?
I'm just gonna say this because I talk about it every week. I'll let you guys know on May 19th. I think that what? You don't think that Destiny 2 isn't gonna do some cool shit?
Isn't it May 18th?
But yeah, but I'm gonna talk about it on the 19th.
Oh.
It's funny. I actually had a thing that was going to be happening May 19th. We got moved to June, but
even
that
then,
would actually be really funny.
You getting married? I'll come out. I'll be your best man. He's so uncomfortable.
Okay, but so I adore Destiny, and I'm really looking forward to Destiny 2. But how unique is that game going to be? What is it going to offer to be? We don't know yet. But I mean,
Destiny 1 was unique. If you stop and think about it, it really was.
Sure.
It basically made its own genre. So that's pretty much the definition of what we're talking about. Now, if Destiny 2 really like hones in, I'm not saying that Destiny, I have no idea. I keep saying I hope Destiny 2 isn't a shit show. Like, there's people are going to lose their jobs if Destiny 2 is garbage.
I'm going to laugh when Destiny's just awful.
I've said it a bunch of times. I'm like, what if this game is just terrible? Like, I hope it's not. I'm really excited to find out. But, you know, when you decide you're going to take your console shooter and put it on PC, and you're not just going to port it to PC, you're going to build it from the ground up for PC as well. You are now, before it was, I'm going to do Xbox 360, PS3, as well as Xbox One and PS4. So there's a lot of minefields there to cross. Now you're talking about, like, getting into this whole other realm and making, like, trying to draw on this whole other audience. And what are you going to do to captivate these people when the entire world thought the first game was shit after its launch and everything? Like, I have no idea. It's going to be wacky. But that's just my response when you say how much different can a first-person shooter be. I have no idea, but I'm really hoping on the 19th I have some really cool things to share. Even though you'll all have heard them, because my name is Bife and Mesa Sean and all those people are going to be in their hotel rooms on the 8th editing as many YouTube videos as they can possibly fucking make, instead of just letting people have conversations. Anyway, minor rant. But
what's the actually, guys, putting an NDA on this, so you can't talk about it.
Yeah, right. NDA. Bah! You gotta wait a month. No.
But you know, all the games you talked about today, Hoop, they're great. They look awesome. They look really fun. How unique are they? Like, what really stands apart? And that's what we like to talk about.
Dead Cells is unique. I'll give Dead Cells definitely unique.
And there's going to be unique elements to a lot of new games, but something that really drives the industry forward. That's what I'm looking for. Something someone's never done before, and they did it well. That's what really gets me. And I know I'm looking for unicorns out there. I know it's few and far between, but when that does happen, it's beautiful. It's amazing, and it does happen. It happened with Marvel. You know, when Modern Warfare came out, those types of you know, industry-altering games do happen, and that's what I'm always on the lookout for. I mean,
Modern Warfare wasn't unique, but it changed.
It changed gaming. It did. You can't deny that.
I wouldn't say it changed gaming. I think it changed Call of Duty.
Okay.
Modern Warfare was. I didn't break into the Modern Warfare scene. I bought that game used, like, well into its cycle, and my friends all said you just gotta try it. And they weren't shooter fans, so I tried it and was like, it became like soul-suckingly, like, life-ruining because it was so good.
I'm not saying that they're the first to do things, because more than likely you knew a game that did the exact same thing before Mario came out, but that game does. Okay. So, but the game that comes out for the masses, that the masses do attach to, and
World at War came out after Modern Warfare.
Go fuck yourself, Blue. No, 10.
Yeah, World at War is 5, and Modern Warfare is 4. Yeah, it did. Look it up. Go fuck yourself, Blue. Yeah, Hoop.
Oh my god, just fuck each other already, alright?
But he's really fucking you, Rams. How am I?
He's not fucking.
Oh my god,
Daddy. No.
No, but my spawn asked.
Oh, I guess I'm thinking, fucking 2. Modern Warfare 2. Most people rant about Modern Warfare 2.
Modern Warfare was the big. Modern Warfare 2 was just wildly popular. Modern Warfare.
Yeah, it's popular. I'm talking about industry-altering games, something that takes a genre and moves it forward. And now every other game is like that now. Like, that's what I'm talking about, where we have that mirror of that same game. Then that's a great example.
Golden Knight revolutionized first-person shooting.
Yeah, because it's first-person shooting.
Absolutely, and we don't see a lot of that nowadays, where something does move the industry forward into something, and I do think that games like this have the potential to do that. I don't think in and of themselves, you basically played a non-animated Telltale, in and of itself, but there's potential there. With that diary of what's her face.
It's not even a diary. It's not even a diary.
I like the name. I'm just gonna let it go. I like the name.
Diary of Eldritch Fitch.
Yeah.
I mean, Edith Eldritch. I went Cthulhu there for some reason.
Edith Fitch 5. Skyrim.
Call of Duty: The Story of Cthulhu.
Yeah.
I do feel like that game touches in on that sort of feel, where they were able to take that genre to a new level. And I'm sure there's other games that do the same thing, but that game in particular touched a lot of that, which is great.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think there's anything that you wouldn't want to play. I would strongly suggest playing The Vanishing of Ethan Carter if you enjoyed. It's got a lot of gameplay. It's actually got lots of puzzles. Very similar style of game. Very, very good, and you can often find it on sale for like $5. So check that out.
Guy change the industry of what not to do in a game.
Oh my gosh. But seeing as I absolutely need to get some sleep because I haven't been feeling good at all today, we're gonna wind things down. So if you do we have any final thoughts on this? But I don't want to cut anyone off, but I would like to wind down the podcast at this point.
Go buy Dead Cells.
I don't have to. I have it already.
Yeah, I know. Play it, Blue.
I'll play it. I'm probably gonna do it off stream, but I'll definitely give it a shot. That being said, if you have an apology, put it in the channel in the chat. Words are hard, or put it in the Discord, because this is.
You guys know you were fuckers all week long. You got shit to apologize for.
Everyone has something that they're sorry for, even if it's something small, even if it's something. Hoop's really sorry that he got the best blueprint and then died and couldn't get it back. And but if you have an apology, post it in chat, post it into the Discord. As always, in the Discord, first things first, we have Lagnus, and I'm going to read this one because I want Hoop to respond. Lagnus says, I'd like to apologize for testing my mic just as Hoop dragged me into the stream Discord. It was awkward for everyone. I read that earlier.
It wasn't awkward for anyone. I didn't even hear it.
I believe that. I believe that. I've spent enough time talking to Lagnus that I believe that. Love you, Lagnus. But I am also going to point out that I'm shocked that you actually got him to join a voice chat, because I don't think I've ever had him in a voice chat. So
yeah, he played Paragon with me last Friday.
Nice, very good. Then we have Gaming Technical. I'm sorry for the person that thought I had wall hacks. That's
Gaming Technical always does explain brags. Like,
yeah, I was playing so good. I'm sorry to that person that I beat really good. Anyway,
actually, my apologies is similar. My apologies similar.
Let's get it out of the way.
Anyone playing Iron Banner this week, I apologize because I'm on fire this week. So,
oh man,
fuck you nerds.
Well, Blue, time for me and you to hop in and go shit in her lunch.
Yeah, right. I mean, I had a game earlier that it was 24 kills and I had 3.4 KD and all I used was grenades.
Yes. I think they're getting worse or something.
I didn't use stickies. This is what I'm gonna say. I actually wanted to bring this up before the end of the podcast. If you're playing Iron Banner Mayhem Clash this week in Destiny, run a Sunbreaker Titan, put on Simmering Flames, and throw on the what the hell is it called? It's the thermite grenade. No one uses this grenade ever. It just shoots this wall of fire over and over and pulses in a certain direction. You can throw them when your super is full, which only takes 40 seconds to happen, once every second. And I was just filling rooms with fire. Exactly. And to get the point out to the people I was playing with, I was like, grenade out, grenade out. I was saying it, and they're like, "Are you serious right now?" I was like, "Yep." And I actually clipped it. I'm gonna tweet it out later. I got like 3 or 4 kills in a row at the bottom of a hill, just like throwing grenades over the top of it. Like, and I heard a joke on Crucible Radio today of them just being like, "You should just fill rooms with fire with thermite grenades." It works. It works. It was a joke that they made, but I highly suggest it. It was a ton of fun. So,
I just made new meta. Fucking Destiny's ruined.
Yeah,
now.
I ruined it. Thermite grenades. Who would have thought? Who would have thunk it? But yeah, so definitely try some crazy stuff with the Mayhem Clash this week because it's really fun. And I've only played like 4 or 5 matches, which I did today when I wasn't streaming, because I wanted to do something to see if I could get myself awake enough to stream. But, Hoop, what's your terrible apology?
I would like to apologize to my chat for putting them through endless amounts of Dead Cells, even when it was not even partly even to where it was now.
Fair enough. It's a real apology. I'll give it to you.
No,
I'm trying to make it not sound so dumb. I would like to apologize to my grandmother. It was what do they call it? The 61st anniversary of her 29th birthday over the weekend, and I went and celebrated with them and totally forgot my card. And we have like an old school family where everyone gets birthday cards and everything like that. And I was the only one that showed up without a card. And my only reasoning was I forgot it. And everyone looked at me funny and I felt really, really bad. So Huh?
You should feel bad.
I should. You did bad and you should feel bad, Blue.
You should feel bad.
You did bad and you should feel bad. So yep. Grandma, if you're watching my podcast, Grandma, I'm sorry. And about so many other things if you're watching this. But with that being said, Hope, tell the people where they can find you.
My name's Hippie. I'm a variety caster on Twitch. You can find me under Crazy Hippie 69. I do stream every single day, 7 to 8 hours a day, starting from midnight to 8 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. I do my best to entertain, and I play just about everything. Just about.
Just about. Very good. Rams, where can the people find you?
I don't stream, so you will not find me streaming on Twitch.
That's not what I asked you. Where can they find you?
But I do not have a YouTube, so in before Deej pastes the YouTube link that does not exist.
Can we get her YouTube up, please?
I don't have a YouTube. But You will find me here on Wednesday nights doing this disaster of a train wreck, which we love to do. You'll also find me Sunday nights over on Shadowhack90's channel, doing Dungeons and Dragons with Blue and a bunch of nerds that I adore. And we're going to be doing our 21st episode. So really, really fun campaign. That is not beam.pro. Damn it, guys. But if you want to know what I'm doing, I do mod different channels, and I like to float around a lot of different channels and check people out and sort of involve myself in communities. So if you want to know who I'm watching and what I'm doing, follow me on Twitter, which someone's not going to paste.
Because we're doing the more important stuff.
But you can follow me at Ramsbug on Twitter.
And you should totally follow it.
But it does not exist.
Oh,
There's no Ramsbug on FetLife.
I don't know what FetLife is. I don't think I want to know.
It's something that I was talking about. She said she asked me one time if I had FetLife. It's a fetish Facebook.
Right,
that was
right.
like 6 episodes ago.
Yeah, I remember it coming up now. That being said, if you guys are watching this right now, you're probably on one of my channels, either twitch.tv/ImTheBlueRanger or youtube.com/ImTheBlueRanger. I'm a variety caster, part-time entertainer on Twitch. I stream Monday through Friday at 5:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Weekend streams aim to start around 9 a.m., but often are different, so you should follow me over on Twitter at ImTheBlueRanger. I'm also on Instagram, Snapchat, Facebook, all of those other fun things, so look for me there. I'm trying to keep because I haven't put out a vlog because I'm waiting to do some cool stuff with the reveal coming up and then Guardian Con. I've been trying to do more and more with Snapchat, so check that out because sometimes I snap stuff, usually my face. Which don't follow my Snapchat now that I'm thinking about it. But thank you guys so much for coming by. Appreciate you. This was, by the way, we haven't talked about this. This is like the 26th episode of this. Like we've been doing this for like a half a year. Like that's like 6 months. And we've missed a couple weeks. So it's kind of crazy. Anyway, thanks guys for hanging out. And we'll see you next week at 8 p.m. on Wednesday at twitch.tv/ImTheBlueRanger. Oh, actually, wait, I lied. Not next week. There's no podcast next week because I'm going to be in LA. So, so we'll see you in 2 weeks. Bye, everybody.
Bye, YouTube. So funny.
Bye, YouTube.
Bye.